Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. Welcome to another day on Tetanam, the podcast for Africans by Africans. Yes. Today we're going to be in the reading room. We're going to have some poetry today. And also I'm going to kind of share my headspace when I was writing some of these poems. These poems are from 2018. So that is a very long time ago. That is a very long time ago. Very long time ago when I was 19. Writing has always been a very important part of me. I've always found myself writing. My dad always got me journals. Every time he'd go somewhere, he'd come and have a journal and just give it to me. He's like, yeah, write whatever you want to write on it. So I got very into writing. I still journal till today. But poetry specifically, it just took me by a storm. It was like, hi, girl. I was like, oh, hey. And then I've been writing ever since. Of course, I've had like a couple of years of what we can call a writer's block. If a writer's block really exists, that thing. I don't like calling it writer's block, but just that period where you are still feeling inspired, but you're not able to put it down. That's what I call it. It's like you're feeling things, you're thinking things, you're sensing things, but you're just not able to put them down. So that's basically what I would call it. And I've decided, and I've been deciding that it's time to share some of this poetry that I write. Some of the words that come through this brain of mine and how they organize themselves. And that's why we always have the reading room. So, yes. So the first poem that I am going to read is called Memory. The time will come when the stars stop twinkling, when the light goes, when the shadows all loom around, when the fragments of time are all in shreds, when the agony is ripped in by the ripple tides. The artificial lights are out. All glow is all they have. Just one more day. One more day of paradise, of heaven, of freedom, of love. When the sun settles on the sunny shores, and when it goes down to the bottom half of the hourglass, the swollen bottom and the empty top. And that's when it hits you that the fragment of the reality that you once had has faded away, only to be a distant memory. That is memory. I cannot remember exactly what I can't remember the exact headspace when I wrote this. All I can say is that I wrote it on my birthday month. So I don't know what that means. I wrote it on my birthday month, and maybe that was me low-key preparing just to turn my hourglass to another year. Try and figure out this adult thing that now they were all expecting me to figure out by the time I'm 19. But I always say you can't really figure out adulting. Even now at 26, I've been an adult for 7 years. Yeah, I've been an adult for 7 years. It's not easy. It's not easy. There's somebody else who's been an adult for 12 years. At least them, I want to say wamepata some time ya figure it out. But yeah, we're still learning the terrains. And I think that's the thing about growing. Some things just become literally a memory. And I can say now, just reading this poem and just trying to put myself in the headspace when I was writing it, it's things eventually become memories. Like the past becomes the past. And you can either choose to grow from it or to live in it. Yes, you can either decide one of the two. I choose to grow from it, look at things from a growth perspective. Just makes your life more productive. And imagine kama glass imevunjika, hakuna kitu tunaweza fanya. So That's also another way I kind of look at it. So yeah, let's go to the next poem. So the next poem is called Emotions. Emotions. Words. We all use and say words every day, and we think them. Even in our dreams. Tone. We can hear it from our loved ones, from music, from action, the world, the reality. It's the delivery of the word. Attitude. It spins the words in understanding, deception, hate, love, happiness, anger. It describes the tone. Mood. It has the vibe of the word. The hey or the high. It's the kink or the feist. The fire or the ice. It's the pace of the attitude. But even if you have all of these, put them in a cute little bow, present them to everyone in a row. Imply each and every one like a spice in a dish preserved. The message will never be the same, will never hit the home, will never hit home with the wrong emotion. And that is emotion. That is emotion. Basically, what I can say, even as I read it, and even when I think about it, it's just things that you say mean something. Not just what you've said, but the concept behind it. The context behind it, which all comes about the emotion behind it. We can always hear people's emotions. We can always hear their attitude, their mood, their tone, all with the emotions that they use in how they speak to us. And emotion, human beings, we react with emotion. That's the first way we're able to communicate with each other, with our emotions. Even before we use our words, we use our emotions. And emotions can be the hi, how are you doing? You know that thing that people do? That's fake. And you can tell. You can be able to point at it. That's how you know people's emotions. That's how you know how people actually think and actually feel. So be careful with your words, with your intentions with your words, with the tone of your words, with the emotions that you're trying to evoke with your words, because they are very, very powerful, especially when you put them out there in the open. They are very powerful and they can be very harmful, but they can also be very healing. And in such situations, is where I say that is the creator that we serve. That is the creator that we know. So be very careful with how you speak to people, how you speak to yourself, especially, because we forget to speak to ourselves with kindness. So be very careful how you speak to yourself, because you are reactive and you can also react to yourself. So yeah, that is emotions. So the third poem is called Bays. I wrote this again 2018, but ninth month. Ninth month inakuanga gani? Yenye tuko saizi September. 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 And this is Bays. Windows open as the door slams. Dust floats all around, moving with the wind that is so close and it kills you with delight. The thought of how close it is to me makes you rage, makes you burn and boil, makes you vent, makes the pores in your bodies pop and explode. And the rain screams, the lightning shouts, and I tremble with haze. I listen with all my attention, and you look up at the sky, cursing out high at how it's made me shake. But yet, You send a silent prayer. Rain screams and the lightning shouts as I tremble. As I pick and listen to everything with all of my attention. And you look up and you curse the sky, high and belied. Wondering how could it make me shake, annoyed, enraged. But yet you send a silent prayer to the Creator for how close it brings me to you. The truth of your being and my being opens up when we're just being. And the acid in your body burns and consumes you slowly. And the only thing that cools and soothes it down is my base. Okay, cool vibes. Can I remember? I can't really remember. I was probably in a relationship. And it seemed like it was actually I was. I think I was in a relationship that was very calming actually. It was very, very calming. Yes, actually yes, I can remember that. And I felt actually like the acid. I felt like the one that was burning everything, and this person was the one who was able to, balance the HP. Wananajua chemistry, guys. Mini chemist, eh? This is where I'm applying chemistry in my life, guys. Bases and acids, balancing the HP, making it neutral. So yeah, I think that's not even. I think I'm pretty sure that is probably the backstory and just the thought process behind this. When I was writing this, I was in a place where all the burning that I felt inside me, and because I definitely felt like I was the acid, and this person was just very calming. We are not together anymore. But it's one of those relationships where you don't feel bad. You don't feel bad that it ended. You're like, okay, it was one of those relationships that you're like, I needed this to heal something in me. And same thing to the other person. You needed that to heal, to soothe something in me. And that was vibes. So thank you to that person. Thank you. You did your job well. You served the motherland well. Yeah, you served the motherland well. And akiwalai, nimeona vile Erica umeniangalia, I don't appreciate that. When I say that, I mean, like, generally, like, honestly, I just mean, like, my spirit, my soul was in so much peace with this person. So it was really nice to be in such a situation where you're just feeling at peace. So that was vibe. So yeah, thank you whoever you are. You probably know who you are. So thank you very much for your services. Somebody once asked me what inspires my writing. Like, there's somebody who's once asked me what actually inspires me to write. And I think it's just feeling, hearing. Sometimes I can just hear something buzzing and I'll just write something in correlation with that. It's just existing. At times, I always say I write from nothing. I write from, like, blankness, and then words just fly around and I'm like, okay, magnet kind of vibes. But it's also from what am I feeling in a moment, what am I thinking about in a moment, where am I where am I in my life, what's my relationship like with my creator at that specific point in my life. Have I been tapping with myself properly? Have I been loving myself properly? So those are the kind of things that I can say push my poetry. And also, of course, what's going on in my environment. I have a poem that it's one that I can say is of pain because of the pain I was feeling from the situation, for example, in our country, in our continent, in our world. So such things weave the net, weave the web. Such things are the Anansi to my spider web. And I'm able to just put words where words really don't know how to be words, if I can say it like that. And also, I break a lot of rules when it comes to how I write my poetry, and that is very intentional. English is not my mother tongue, it's not my maiden tongue. Kizungu ilikuja na meli, and I will always and forever be like, yeah, Kizungu inakuja na meli. So kama nimefeel ku break some words in the middle of my, I don't care, I'ma break it. Sue me. What's the worst you can do? I would love to write in Swahili. Writing in Swahili is very difficult, guys. Hiyo ni lugha yetu. So if I ever decide to start writing in Swahili, I think maybe I'll just write it how I understand it, and not just with the ngelis, with the awas and the kiwis and the pachakumu, but with how is it feeling? Because I think that's also what gives the authenticity. Again, back to emotions with our words. So that has been Reading Room today. Thank you for listening to me, telling you where my inspiration comes from when I'm doing or thinking of this poems. We will have other poeters, if that is the word. We will have other poeters. Nimeambiwa ni poets, but mi nitasema poeters. We'll have other poeters come and share the poetry. The reason why we have Reading Room is to tap into the storytellers that we are as Africans, because even our histories were not passed down to us with writing, but through stories, through poems, through speaking. That's how we passed down our ancestry, and this is my little way of making sure the tree continues. We have to continue this tree, you and I. So this has been Teta Nam again. Thank you so much for listening. Na kama kawaida, stay African, and please stay radical. See you next time.